Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Sarah. In today's video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I follow another YouTube channel. They're called Tiny Hands Big Dreams, and they did like 7 questions about homesteading to answer, and they put it out for other people to answer, and so I thought I would answer them today. So their channel, if you like my channel, you'll probably like their channel. They are a family from the US living in southern Ecuador, creating a homestead from scratch. Like, they bought land, no house, so they're building everything. So if you like mine, they're like 10 times, creating like 10 bazillion times bigger than what I'm doing. So if you like watching people do things and create stuff out of nothing, then you'll probably like their channel as well. I like their channel, I follow it, and it's kind of hard to find other people doing something similar outside of the US or outside of Europe. So there are a couple of channels that I follow, and there's one of them. So I'm going to answer their 7 questions because they're homesteading, creating a homestead, building a homestead, similar to what I'm doing, just on steroids. They're like, I have a house, they're like building a house from scratch. So, and they have and their farm is much bigger. So they're like well into homesteading, like having animals and such. So if you like to see that kind of thing, go watch their channel. But I thought I would do their questions and see, you know, just because it's fun. First things, introduce yourself. Who are you and where do you live? My name is Sarah. Like I said, I am from the US, and in my past life, I grew up on a farm in Kentucky, but I lived in Los Angeles for about 15 years, I was an ICU nurse for about 15 years. 7 years ago, in 2018, I quit my ICU nurse job to travel the world, and I had no plans of settling down at all until I started traveling, and then I realized that, you know what, maybe I want to settle down, but just maybe abroad instead of in my home country, which is essentially what I did. And it has been 7 years this month. So 7 years ago, in 2018, I left the US, sold all my things, and bought a one-way ticket. And actually, crazy enough, it was to Colombia. So my first country I started in is where I ended it. After going all around the world, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and stay and live. How much acreage do I have? I have a very small farm. I have 1.5 acres on a very hilly land. And I live in Jerico, Antioquia, at 1.8 meters. What are you growing, raising? Currently, we are not raising anything. We are building houses to get chickens, ducks, goats, but that is a future plan. I've only been on this land for about 10-11 months, so I'm still newbie in the homesteading world. So I have a lot of things to do. What am I growing? Okay, so I did buy a working coffee farm, so I'm growing coffee, plantains, bananas, yucca, limes, mandarinos, guamo. I have a guamo ice cream bean tree, guava, lots of squash, lots of herbs. I did a video about 15 things that I grow, and I'm drawing a blank, but those are like things that are producing. And then I have cacao growing. I have avocado trees planted. They're not producing anything yet. I grow uchuva, little uchuva. They're like goose ground cherries in the English. I'm growing lulo. I have a ton of lulo, and raspberries, blackberries, coffee. I have so much coffee. I'm sitting in my coffee field. Actually, I'm sitting in the place of future. I'm building a cabin down here, so this is going to be where I put my cabin. What are my goals? So my short-term goal is to grow everything that I eat and create everything that I need food-wise from the land. And future goal is to go off-grid. Hello, little squirrel. Future plans will be to go off-grid and composting toilet, off-grid, dry, all the works. But right now, I'm not off-grid, but is to be have food self-sustainability. Or to be food self-sufficient. And then go from there. Like, I like to work in baby steps. So number 1 would be grow everything that I eat and then slowly expand. Number 1 question, how did you choose your homestead location? I knew I wanted to live in Colombia, and I had started dating a guy, so I guess he had a lot to do with location. He was living and working here in the city that I'm in. I came because I was on a tourist visa. I came here, checked it out, and I liked it. The weather's not too hot, not too cold. We have rain season, but it doesn't get super cold and it doesn't get super hot. Right now it's really hot though. So I have a microclimate. My microclimate is like crazy. So yeah, in Colombia we have microclimates. Like this morning I was freezing and now I'm sitting here sweating and getting eaten by bugs. So yeah. So I chose it, but I was looking at land all over the place, and one of the main reasons I chose this place is because I knew the guy selling it, and that's really helpful in Colombia if you know somebody selling the property, and it was a really smooth buying process. So I think that really helped me to buy it because I knew the guy and I trusted him, and it was a little bit of a smoother transition. That's probably the main reason that I bought here, because it is a bit of a steep property, but it's my first property, so for now it's perfect for now. But future plans, I definitely want to buy a much bigger property because I want to have a lot of animals. I want more animals than I can fit like responsibly here. Is it still right for what you want to area and property? Is it still right for what you want to do? Right now, to be food self-sufficient, it is 100% right for what I want to do. And it is also, I see it as like my learn how, because I didn't know how to do all these things that I'm learning now. So this is like a project for me. It is a project to create a permaculture self-sustainable little mini farm and then grow from there. So for my 1 to 3 year project, this is perfect. What concerns do I have about it? It's not big enough. So in probably, well, I say 1 to 3 years, but probably more like 1 to 5 years, within that time frame, I plan on having this completely up and running, a small mini working self-sufficient farm. And then I want to buy a bigger piece of land and kind of do what they're doing, is build everything from scratch. So that's why I'm doing everything here and learning the skills and then taking them in upgrading basically. But for now, it's perfect. I think if I had a bigger property, I would feel really overwhelmed because I already feel really overwhelmed with what I'm doing. So yes, for now, yeah, perfect. Because I'm one of those people that I have too many ideas, but if I have to compress them down, I have to force myself to be like, okay, I need to start small. But if I started big, I would be too overwhelmed. So for now, perfect, yes. Number 2, what is one homestead chore that you enjoy that others might hate? So I love learning about planting, soil management, soil health, what grows where, how to grow on a hillside. I think my favorite part about homesteading and what I'm doing is learning to do what I'm doing, because I really like to learn and I like to read. And I've been reading a lot about how to canopy, sub-canopy, and where to plant things on the hillside so that I can maximize my space and use what I have, every bit of the space that I have to create what I want to create. So I love learning, and I love learning about like weird things like what to grow with plantains, what to grow with coffee, how to take care of bees, how to get bees, where to find bees, what grows well here, what's the soil type, like all that random weird like things. And I love being outside, and I love being dirty, and I love seeing like the big picture and then working backwards and be like, okay, this is what I want, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No one else in my house really likes to be in the garden, so yeah, there's that. Number 3, what new skill do you want to master for the homestead? I want to learn how to build things. That's it. I want to learn how to build a house. I want to build my little cabin here And I want to do what they're doing in Ecuador, is building it, like they're doing a wattle and daub house, and I want to build like an adobe sort of like little round house from dirt. So that's kind of why I found them, because I was probably searching that, because that's what I want to do, and I want to learn how to build. I want to learn how to build, basically. But I've always liked building. When I was in like high school, I took like a building class. I was horrible at it, but I still took it because it's fast, it's interesting. And now that I have my own space, I can do it, right? Number 4, if you have a partner, how do you keep a healthy relationship dynamic while homesteading? Well, that's tricky. He does the building right now. So, I guess we both have our own lives. So I just do my own thing, and I do my like outside gardening and learning, and he does like the building. So I'll say like I want a chicken coop, and he goes to work on the chicken coop. But he also has a full-time job, so I think we keep it healthy by just allowing each other to do our own thing. I think that's the only thing. Yeah. He's not... I'm way more into the self-sufficiency, off-grid, dry toilet, composting toilet, soil, all that stuff. Like, I'm very hippy-dippy. I wouldn't even call it hippy-dippy, but I've always wanted to, I mean, I grew up like that, so for me, it's like there in my blood. I know, like, we had an outhouse, we didn't have running water, so for me, it's like in my blood. He's from the city, so yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. Let's just leave it at that. Number 5, what is your single biggest unexpected expense that you've encountered in homesteading? The biggest expense, I think, is, well, we had to put a septic tank in. I would have just done compost toilets. But everyone in my house needed running water and flushing toilets. So septic tank was quite expensive. It was like, it was like 3 million pesos. I don't know how much that is. I will put it down here. And I think other things that are expensive is having to buy certain things like tools. They're a bit expensive, but I was kind of an expected expense. I think because I've been living in Colombia for off and on for so long, I kind of already knew how much things were going to cost. I think it was the septic tank was the most expensive thing that I didn't expect, because I would have just put a compost toilet with a bucket. But that's going to be down here, okay? That's what I'm doing down here. Don't worry. Number 6, share a tip or two that has helped you live frugally while homesteading. Okay, I'm very frugal. So I think the biggest thing that helped me become frugal and to save money and to know how to live without, I mean, it's not that I live without because I have to. It's the fact that I don't like to shop. I hate shopping. I like to be like, okay, I don't have that, but can I substitute this, or can I fix this, or can I figure this out? But you know what helped me? The number one thing that helped me was quitting my job, taking jobs that pay low pay, and learning how to not become a consumer of things, because I feel like when I was in the US, I was just consuming everything, and now I stop and think, do I actually need that? Can I live without it? And normally the answer is yes. I mean, I don't overbuy. I never, but quitting my job and traveling the world, and I lived basically for 4 years in hostels out of a backpack. So quitting my job, living out of a backpack helped me realize what things I actually need in my life and what is really important. I would rather spend money on a plane ticket to go see my family than to buy something that I don't need. So recently I bought a new camera for this channel. I'm not using it today, of course, because it was raining a little bit, so using my GoPro is easier in case it rains. But that was like the biggest thing that I bought in like 2 or 3 years. And even now I'm like, oh gosh, did I make a mistake? Did I really need it? I have this GoPro, but it's kind of, the quality here is not as good. So I think for creating and being a content creator, it is something that I wanted more than needed. Could I have lived without it? Absolutely, yes. And I was just like, I'm gonna splurge. It was like the one thing I bought in like 3 years, besides the plane ticket to see my family. So I'm very frugal. That's how I afforded to buy my house. I was working and I saved a lot of money because I was working. So I saved money and I bought what I did what I wanted. So, and yeah, I don't know. It's just, I just changed my mindset. I just started thinking about, do I need it or do I want it? Is it a want or a need? If it's a need, okay, I understand. Is it a want? Can I get around without it? Yes. If I keep thinking about something and I'm like, I want this, I want this, I want this after a few months or years, like I wanted my camera for like a few years. So I got it. And I love it. I take pictures and I use it for my blog. So yeah, it was not a need, it was a want. And it was like, that was it. But other than that, I try. I don't buy new clothes. I don't like to shop. I hate shopping, actually. It's like, to go shopping is probably one of the worst things. I would rather spend money on like a nice meal or cook a nice meal than buy anything. I don't have any desire. No. So I think being frugal has helped because I don't like to shop. And I realized that when I had a real job, I was shopping a lot, but it was because I was like feeling empty inside. And now if I'm like, feel like I need something, I just come sit here like at the bottom of the hill and I think about like what I can do. My weakness is buying plants. That's it. But they're not very expensive. And I still think, do I need that plant? The answer is always yes. But, you know, but it's going to like provide for me in the future. And the whole goal of this thing is to create something self-sustainable. Like I'm growing cacao. Will it grow here? I don't know. I have to get the midge fly. So I'm like reading on how to get this special fly to pollinate. Or am I going to hand pollinate my cacao? Anyway, so I bought cacao because maybe in 5 years I'll be able to make my own chocolate. So now I think about before I buy something, I think about what is the benefit to it and is it going to last me? Or is it just a quick dopamine hit? Usually it's just a quick dopamine hit and I don't buy it. So, but my lavender, I bought some lavender, some cacao, you know, it's going to like keep giving me and giving me and giving me back. Number 7, what is your biggest current hurdle to achieving the next step in your homestead and how are you planning to overcome it? Getting my animals, which means my hubs has to finish building the chicken coop. But now that I want to learn how to build and he's really busy with work, the biggest hurdle might be me learning how to build and just getting over it and being like, screw it, I'm going to do it. Yeah, so is like learning how to do more things here on the homestead and kind of being like, you know what, he has a full-time job, so a lot of the homestead is going to be things that I'm just going to have to learn how to do and just suck it up and do them. But I just want to be in the garden. I mean, I want to learn how to build, but I just want to do it all, so it's like a struggle. So yeah, getting animals, which I know are going to be probably the next biggest expense will be me getting some animals. And something big here is finding them. I found these ducks online and I want to buy them. But my neighbor also knows where I can buy some ducks. So finding things is a big hurdle here. Is like finding where to get certain things and asking the vivero guy and finding the name in Spanish, communicating in Spanish, and you know, a language barrier is a huge thing. But I've learned, I think I know more words about gardening and farming than I do if you meet me on the street and want to talk about something else. I'll be like, so that tree over there is blah blah blah, and then they'll be like, but something else, and I'll be like, I know like farm stuff, like I can talk to you about a farm in Spanish, no problem. But if you want to talk to me about like random things, I'm probably gonna be like, I don't know. So finding things, language barriers, continuing learning Spanish, and building the house for the animals. We finished the pond, which was huge, but now it's actually making the house for the animals. So yeah, that's a huge hurdle. So yeah. Okay, so that is my 7 things. I hope that was helpful, useful. I kind of want to add something. So since my farm is small and I have a 3 to 5 year plan, my next plan will be to have this 100% mini farm set up, working, self-sustainable, and then move on to something bigger and do the same thing again on a larger scale, because I eventually want like mules and horses. Like my ultimate goal would be to, well, I have a goal, but I don't want to tell you what it is. But like a little like personal goal, I would like to have a, like somewhere that I have to take a horse to get to, and a mule. I know. I like, you know, to run away and live in the middle of the mountains. That's why I'm gonna build a little cabin. I'll show you down here. But yeah, so that's it. You know, to become a recluse somewhere in the Andes Mountains. Anyways, if you watched this to the end, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Go check out Tiny Hands Big Dreams. Thank you for the questions. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Future area of little cabin over here. Terracing the land way up here. And the property line goes to over there. But here, there's like a creek right here. So, it'll be a nice spot.